All right, here we go. Part 2 of our record video. When I first got into my house, I didn't have my bookshelves built yet, so I recorded some videos in front of the records. And people had asked about seeing the records, so I made that first video, which is basically the music journey from the very first time I heard music to, and I'm just going to keep doing it as I go. It's in chronological order, sort of the story of my life through records, I guess. This time I added a Spotify playlist, so everything that I mention in these videos will be on that playlist for your listening pleasure. When you're like, what the hell is this guy talking about? You can click on that link and go down there. All right, so the recap here. We're still in high school. We just went to our first punk show, 15 in Fugazi. We're still not plugged in to the punk scene per se, in particular. And we are still randomly buying stuff that looks punk. But now, if I remember seeing a sticker on the back of a car, like I would just go buy that album. Because, you know, like I said, you can't go look it up. You just got to buy it. You got to take that chance. Maybe it's punk, maybe it's not. More often than not, it was punk. Okay, so I am, 15? I think I get my first job. I was a busboy at a Mexican restaurant. Wasn't, it's white people Mexican restaurant. And it was like a bar, too. It was kind of crazy. That was a crazy place to work when you're 15. My coworker there, fellow busboy, was a big fan of the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. So he played me the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, and I was like, oh, this is weird. This is like horns, but it's still kind of punk. So coincidentally, the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones were coming to town. So me and the friends went to Columbus and Newport, go see the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. And opening for where am I going to put these? Opening for the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones was Face to Face, Don't Turn Away. This is the Doctor Strange version. That's why it's blue. The Fat Records one was kind of a brownish red, maroon. So this originally came out on Doctor Strange Records. And then Fat Mike was like, oh, I really like this. I'm going to take it. And the guy from Doctor Strange was very pissed because he had just put this out. And they immediately redid it on Fat Records, so he screwed him. And I read an interview once with the guy from Doctor Strange who said that the singer from Face to Face, would suck a dick to be on MTV. I always thought that was hilarious, and it just stuck with me. So there is, Face to Face, Don't Turn Away. This is great, like Southern California. I guess you could call it skate punk. It's like melodic punk, but not pop punk. So that was a lot of fun. We're, like I said, big fans of the Misfits, Danzig. We bought all the Danzig albums, but I don't have any on vinyl, so we're just going to mention it. The first Danzig, obviously, we had the videotapes, his music video collections when he was on Headbangers Ball. Just big Danzig fans. We went and seen him many times. He would come to Cincinnati, play at Bogart's. But yeah, so then we also learned that there was a band in between the Misfits and Danzig, and that was Sam Hayne, which is actually pronounced Salwin, I believe. But we just say Sam Hayne, and that's what everyone says. So someone had found the tapes somewhere. Maybe they had them at the mall record store. We're still at the mall record store, by the way. We're getting all this stuff from the mall record store. We haven't found the real one yet. This is a disappointment. I think if you love the Misfits and you're expecting more Misfits, it's like a watered down version. I don't know how to explain it, but it's not great. Sam Hain is not great. And then as they went on, they sound like Danzig. The last album of Sam Hain, I believe it's that one. Sounds like, maybe it's not. I don't know. But it sounds like the first Danzig album. So there you go. So we also were in high school, and we're talking about punk with people, and random people will be like, oh, I listened to one punk band, here it is. And this guy was like, I love this 7 Seconds record, Soul Force Revolution. This is the pop hippie 7 Seconds, the hippie era. And this is the first 7 Seconds I heard, and I love it. I love the Santriagili. I'm not even going to know how to pronounce it if I look. Satyagrahana. Here, they look like hippies. And, you know, 7 Seconds was a hardcore punk band from the 80s that they kind of morphed over time, and I think they still play shows, and they've been poppy and hardcore and melodic and hippies, and they sound like U2 sometimes. But anyway, Soul Force Revolution, great 7 Seconds record. And I also pulled out The Crew, so you could see them when they were hardcore. The Crew is me, The Crew is you, we're The Crew. The Crew this is positive. This is probably like the first positive hardcore record, right? Where they're just like, it's not just boys fun, girls too. Come on, ladies. Hardcore is for you too. And how cool is that, 7 Seconds? I lived in Reno for a little bit of time, and I met some punk kids there. And they were like, Kevin Seconds' mom works at this Subway down here. And we were like, I wonder, I'll go meet Kevin Seconds' mom. She works at the Subway. I don't know. It was a weird, stupid story sideline there. Sorry about that. Here's one that I randomly bought that I just always saw the sticker around on people's cars, and it is the first Bad Brains. If you don't know who Bad Brains were, they were all black guys. This is an all black guy punk band, which was rare back then. And this is, I think, the first hardcore record. This is fucking amazing. This will, shit. You put this on and this blows you away. To this day, it makes like the hair stand up on my arms. Like, it gives me goosebumps of how fucking amazing this is right here. This changed everything in all of those punk documentaries they've made over the last 15, 20 years. And they go on and on about the Bad Brains. It's all about this record right here. And I'm so glad that I found this first. Because if I had heard any other Bad Brains first, I'd be like, that band sucks. Because honestly, this is like the only good one. The only one. And if you're not aware, it has like 2 reggae songs on it too. Because I think, you know, they liked reggae. So they put them on there. And it doesn't fit. And it's okay. I don't think it ruins it, but just a heads up. Reggae on your punk. We got this bona fide classic Descendants, Milo Goes to College. I think, speaking of groundbreaking bands, I think Descendants is the first pop punk band. The first for real pop punk band. And I know, like, you're like, oh, well, the Ramones were like poppy, and then all those pop punk bands from the 90s that did the Ramones core, they were pop punk, sort of. But this is, to me, you can't call the Ramones pop punk. The Ramones are bigger than that. It's like calling Black Sabbath Doom or whatever fucking moniker you want to put on them. No, they're Black Sabbath. You cannot call them anything. They're just Black Sabbath. That's how the Ramones are. They're that important. So to me, the Descendants, first pop punk band right here. Real pop punk. When we say pop punk, we mean real pop punk, not that shit that's on that was on popular in the 2000s that people think is pop punk, which it is not. Gatekeeping. In case you missed the first one, there's lots of gatekeeping in these records. Milo Goes to College. That's a great fucking record, man. And then we got Black Flag, Damaged. This is my favorite Black Flag record. This is with Henry Rollins. Henry Rollins' first record with Black Flag. We had 3 different singers previously. Right? Yeah. But this was my favorite. I have this tattooed on my leg. It says Damaged. I love how gnarly and... how would you describe this? Broken glass? Broken glass in an alley? Cutting skin, blood everywhere, punching concrete walls. That's Damaged to me. And this was, I love Black Flag because it was personal. They had political songs, but they started to it being more of an emotional battle than a political one. I bought the EPs of RP CD compilation. This is Rudimentary Penai. This is not the EPs of RP. but I don't have that one on vinyl. But Rudimentary Penai was a British band, one of the Crass type bands. But Nick Blinko was a crazy person. He actually spent time in the asylum. I know that's not politically correct. Bad Nick, using that terminology. He was mentally ill, and he would do these insane micro drawings here for the covers. And Rudimentary Penai is very weird. And they have an album where it's in honor of H.P. Lovecraft. And almost all of the songs are H.P. Lovecraft inspired songs or just about H.P. Lovecraft. And it is really weird and really cold. And it sounds like someone is from an old asylum somewhere made that record. I used to have it, and I don't know what happened to it. It's kind of heartbreaking. You know, over the years, I've lost many records. And speaking of which, so we got Pennywise here. So this is the 7-inch. This is one of their first 7-inches. Before they were on Epitaph, I loved Pennywise. I was a skater. This is total skate punk, Southern California skate punk. And I had the Unknown Road LP, which I got when it came out. And I don't know what happened to it. So, man, I looked at every record back here trying to find it for this video. I can't believe I don't have it. So I don't know what happened to it. But I do have this first 7-inch. And this is great, too. There was this. They had two 7-inches. They were on Pessimer Theologian, right? It says Theologian back then, but which usually put out Power Violence and hardcore records. But I guess they were buds or something, so they put out Pennywise. And then we also dug deeper into bands that we loved. So we got Double Nickels here, the best Minutemen record there is, double album. They named this is a take on Sammy Hagar, because Sammy Hagar can't drive 55, but he makes lame music. So they're like, we're going to make exciting music and we're going to drive 55. So double nickels on the dime, 2 5s. So that is funny, huh? The Minutemen. I think most people would recognize the Minutemen because of their song. Oh God, what song is it? It's the theme for Jackass. Corona. It's Corona. So yeah, their song Corona is the theme for Jackass. So that's how you might know the Minutemen. And then here's another Minutemen EP. Art by Raymond Pettibone, who did a lot of the SST artwork. And so yeah, punk. And that's all I really care about. You know, I guess I would listen to maybe classic rock radio if that's all there was to listen to. But it was pretty much on the back burner. And I did we would go out skating and they would have these old car cruise-ins in the parking lot. Because back then you had to skate in the parking lot. There was no parks. And we would roll over to the old car cruise-in and they'd be playing oldies. And I've always loved oldies of my era, which is from the 60s and stuff. So thought I'd show off some of those. So we got here Supremes. I mean, I just, doesn't everyone love this stuff? The Temptations. I love the Temptations. I love that movie. I've read the book all about them. I don't know, these bands, it's hard to be like, I love the Temptations because they were just vocalists. And these other people wrote the songs, the Motown musicians played the music. So they are just kind of like the vocalists. But I don't know, whatever you want to call this, the Temptations, I loved it. And then I got a Platters here. A little bit older oldies. The Platters went back to the 40s. Whereas the Temptations were more of 60s. And then we also liked the alternative at the time. The alternative music was popular. Nirvana changed the landscape, and there was all kinds of cool stuff. And we went to Lollapalooza in 1993, I believe. And it was the one with Alice in Chains and Rage Against the Machine and Tool and Fishbone. Fishbone is another record that I'm missing. This is the first one where they're very ska sounding. And I was looking for the double LP. What the hell was that called? I don't remember. Anyway, so yeah, that's all we got. We got Fishbone, and Primus played there, and Tool. We loved Primus and Tool, but I don't have any vinyl of Primus or Tool. But we'll put that on the Spotify playlist. Little Lollapalooza. We'll put a little Lollapalooza mix. Babes in Toyland. Played also Arrested Development. Who else played that? I know I'm going to be forgetting one, and then I'm going to watch this and be like, I can't believe you forgot to mention that. Anyway, so we're still buying stuff randomly. I bought this Replacements, Pleased to Meet Me. By the way, when I say I bought these are all cassettes and CDs. I still don't have any vinyl yet. This is all bought afterwards. So I got this, and this was a gamble because I was like, oh, this looks kind of punk. And it's kind of punk. When you go back and listen to the early Replacements, it's definitely punk. But this one was it almost sounded like mainstream rock, but it had punk elements. And I didn't really like it. And then as I got older, I was really into this. Or at least some of it. Some of it I remember being like, eh. Like I said, we got more stuff that we just loved. And I just wanted to pull out my Subhumans to show them all off. Time flies. The aeroplanes crash. Oh, I got it on the microphone, don't I? Worlds Apart. I always liked the cassette better because it had the hand holding up the earth with the cigar and the blood pouring out of the earth. Blood pours out at the end of the day. The usual amount of people have died. Sit back and watch death and decay. EPLP. This is a ripper. If you want ripping Subhumans, you want it raw dog, get this one. I actually own that 7-inch. I own the original. I didn't pull it out though. I don't know why. That's weird. But yeah, so that's the only original one I have. And it's also the first 7-inch that I bought that I paid more than a normal 7-inch price. I don't remember how much it was, but I was like, ooh, I can't believe you just paid that much for a 7-inch. And now with books and magazines and pulps, I'm just like, $100 there. Rats. God, I love the Subhumans. And then there's the last one, Split Vision, where they start to become a little ska. And then you get to Citizen Fish, but we're not there yet. We're not there yet. We don't know them yet. Now, in the first video, I mentioned that we had met some friends in the next town over. So they went to the other high school, and one of them was this girl. She was very cool, this little tiny girl, and I had never met a punk female. So it was cool. This little group of females who were into punk. Why does that sound so funny? It's this little group of ladies who were into punk, and it was awesome. And she made me a tape, and on it was the Mighty Superchunk here, one of my favorite bands of all time. No Pocky for Kitty. The song she put on was Slack Motherfucker, which I do have. I don't know why I didn't pull it out, but I do love this one from back to front. My favorite is the compilation, though. I love the Tossing Seeds compilation, which I also have. Yeah, I don't know. I just pulled this one out. Who knows? Superchunk. What does Superchunk sound like? It's like indie rock, but it's punk. It's not lame indie rock like you would imagine. It's just this, I guess, is it arty punk? I don't want to say arty because, I don't know. It rocks, and you should go check it out. It's very catchy. And then, of course, this gaggle of ladies, Bikini Kill. Another one of my favorite bands. I think Bikini Kill is just one of the greatest bands ever. Not even just punk bands. Ever. Of all bands. And this has the infamous Carnival song. She wants to go to the carnival. She's going to win that Motley Crue mirror if it fucking kills her. Yeah, we'll definitely put that song on there. Bikini Kill was Riot Girl. They invented. Did they invent the Riot Girl? Maybe they didn't invent the term, but they were the biggest band in there. They were mentioned on like Roseanne. There's an episode of Roseanne where they're talking about Bikini Kill. So that's crazy. All right, so we're going to end it there. And then in the next video, we are still in high school, but we're going to meet someone who points us in the direction of the real punk rock record store. And then we're going to dig deep. It's going to get deep. You're going to see crazy shit. All right, so next time, and I'm out.